Hello, Hey, I'm Kev Germiska, and welcome to TT Older Man 2, as we're going to be doing a TT live, as doing these TTs takes quite a lot of recording, so I thought I'd try and live stream one. So, in the last episode of Career Mode, with the TT Older Man 2, we did the Superbike TT for the first time. We finished in the top 10 despite not really riding that well on our BMW. So I was hoping we could maybe do the senior TT. But from what I understand, you have to win the Superbike TT in order to be able to enter the senior TT. So we might be forced to do the Supersport TT. So we'll see what we can do here. As we're just checking that everything is okay. I've also had to kind of reinstall OBS over the weekend to get everything, because for some reason OBS was messing up the second half of last week. That's why quite a few videos were a bit laggy when recording, so I had to record like Streamlabs OBS. But when we reinstalled OBS, everything's set up again, so hopefully everything's alright, as you can see in the background, and we won't have any issues doing this TT. But let's see if we can do the senior TT. We can do the senior TT. Okay. We've only got 30 perk points though. We wasted all of our perks on the old Superbike TT. We can't really use any to choose from here. We've got respawn time reduced by 0.2 seconds, which could be very useful. But is there one that's like 20 and 10 or something? Or is that the only perk we can use? Well, it's the last race of the season, so we might as well select that. And then we can choose between the Suitor, which we definitely won't. That bike is light as hell. Like, with the handling model for this game, that's how they got around it being super OP. They make it so light that it's like a feather over the jumps. You can't really do much. So we entered as the team. If I remember right, in the Superbike TT, we'll be on the old custom livery. We'll make sure the bike has the upgrades as well. So we've got suspension, got the engine as well. And then we did get upgrades for DLC, but I'm trying not to use those. That's why I'm only using the upgrades you get from the team from achieving the objectives. So I believe with the engine, we set that to 120% engine braking, which actually seemed to be pretty good. And I'm not really sure which way, because it does explain in the bottom right. It does say the engine brake controls deceleration, release, and forward, so you can completely control the bike to your preferred riding style. It doesn't say which way to go. Helps with that though. It just says it helps with the engine braking. So if you have less engine braking, is that more helpful or more? We'll keep it at 120 because that's the setting we're used to. And then with the suspension, again, we're on a road circuit, so I'm not really sure how to set this up, because I'm used to MotoGP suspension, I'm used to Supercross or Motocross, not used to road racing suspension, how to set this up. So, as you can see, you've got the shock, so that's like the stiffness, and then the compression, so that's how much it goes kind of like over a bump. So basically absorption, and then extension, so that's speed, which the extension suspension extends after a bump. Oh, is that what that is? Would have thought it would have been that. Yeah, that's the speed. Oh, okay, that controls the speed. That controls kind of how much it goes up and down, I'm guessing. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do for suspension, so I'm leaving it as is. So I have the exact same app set up as the senior TT. And that is our BMW. Before I go ahead, just got to check. For the Superbike TT, finishing the top 10, we did a time of 105 minutes, 31 seconds. If we were, I think we were 4 seconds off the top, so, or 4 minutes. So if we get around 103, be a couple minutes off the top, I'll be pretty happy with that. And of course, I recorded that Superbike TT with recording issues, having to reinstall like Streamlabs in the middle of it, and set up everything again for recording, and add breaks in between it as well. When we're having breaks now that you can see this live, so let's get going. I hope I'm okay for this. As I just try and mute myself, as we're going to take my last bit of water. Okay. Just making sure everything's recording okay. Because there's someone in here about to watch a magnificent ride to the top 10 here. So our personal record is just over 17 minutes. About a minute slower than we would like. So if we can get into at least the 16 minutes this race, I'll be very happy. At least it's quicker than our Supersport TT time, which was 17:25, I think it was. And as we've got a competitive split here, so you've got like Dean Harrison, who's contended for in real life the senior TT. I think, can't remember if he won it last year or not. But he's certainly has been fighting with Peter Hickman over that in recent years. We've got James Heard as well, who's a very experienced rider. Martin Jessup too. And you've got familiar names from the Irish Championship like Sam Dougherty, Carl Lapp. So we've got 3 fellow BMWs in this split. We've got 3 Kawasaki's, 3 Hondas. Hang on. Yeah, 3 Hondas, so yeah, 4 BMWs in total. So here we go then. So I won't speak a lot while riding. I can't look across the chat or anything. I only do that when we have our pit stops on lap 2, at the end of lap 2, at the end of lap 4. Enough dithering. I think it's time to go ahead now. Say hello to our old friend Gary. Right, Gary. He's always so emotional at the beginning of these. As we get underway then. So I do have like the preview of OBS as well to the side, so hopefully everything will be okay. This first lap, the idea is just to not crash. That is something we do way too much on the first lap. That is my issue. The first lap to go over Ago's lead. So I don't really care about pace in the open lap as long as we stay upright. And if we stay upright in general, like I think the target was 25 crashes or under. So like, or 30, like 5 crashes per lap is my target normally. Get under that. Let's go over the bridge. Oh, that is always the goal, 5 or under. Which we've only achieved on the Supersport TT, which we won, so it shows you the power of staying upright right there. Let's go a turn. Let's go through Union Mills. Bit wide for the left, bit too airborne there. But it's a decent opening though. We have no issue though with the first sector. It's the middle part of the lap we still have issues. We do make some silly mistakes though in the first sector. We did that on the last TT. As I see we're up, I'm not going to nook up though. That's again an issue with me. I always nook up as, oh, we survived that. We didn't survive that on our Superbike DT debut. We do with the old senior TT. You may be wondering the difference that these things game between the senior and Superbike TT is that Superbike TT in optimal conditions. Senior TT is meant to have variable weather, so it could change the weather during this race. So it might be optimal now, but it could, you know, start getting a bit more cloudy. So we might have to change the way we ride during this race, but very good beginning. Under 2:30 as well, that's cracking. The first sector. And over 4 seconds ahead. This is what we're talking about. This is the beginning we need. The Hawthorne. Oh god. Dabbing the brakes. No, it wasn't enough. I ran too wide. First crash. Through Gorsley. Because on the Super Sport TT bike, that is so easy flat. I'm still... I was struggling with my mindset sometimes with the Superbike here. Like, it's bigger, it's heavier, it's less nimble than the Superbike bike, and it's much quicker as well. Like, we're averaging top speeds like 195 compared to 160. And that's a good thing for this game. They were two similar Super Sport and Superbikes on TT Automan 1. Like, top speed as well. As I have no idea how we clipped that. Now, we might see that bike try and pass us it. Which could be an issue. Because if you've seen previously, you always have issues when we're stuck behind the bike. Yeah, we can hear them. Again, we're not really pushing this open out, so just let them by. And then hopefully they put away. As we go through Glen Helen. Normally one of our best sets as well, Glen Helen now. But we seem to get the flow down through that. As we go past Sarah's Cottage for the first time. And then Lamb Fell. Can't get too sucked in on the right hand side there through that. What about the left? As see, it's crashes like that which you can't predict, because sometimes you're okay over the bump, sometimes you're not. Even on the first lap, as you saw, we survived the bump earlier, even though we did it on the Superbike TT. But we didn't survive that bump in the Senior TT. Even though we did in the Superbike TT. That's the annoyance we find with TT Automan 2. Well, the main annoyance we find is that it's unpredictable how it reacts sometimes. There's no real consistency sometimes. It doesn't help with the lack of feedback as well through the controls. We've not even made it halfway through the lap, we've already got 3 crashes. So that was late popping, wasn't it? As you go through Bargarrow. Going through the 4 left-handers of Ale here. I swear there used to be a name for that left-hander as well in the first TT Automan, but I don't know it now. So 17 seconds back. That's a good gap in front. That's a good like baseline, because they're out of our view. We can't see them. But they're not too far ahead as well if we start speeding up. That's a good kind of baseline to match ourselves against on this opening lap. Let's head towards Kurt Michael. Now, this is where frame rate might start being all over the place. But hopefully it's running well. I can go back through the feedback as well at the pit stop and check. But yeah, if you see anything in chat, just let me know and I'll see what I can do at the pit stops. Cool, I've got lots of late popping. I mean, I have turned down some of the settings as well because of the lag. I say it's just because these bikes fly by so quick as well sometimes. They're just games trying to catch up to it. There's a gap 18 seconds in front. So not losing too much, and though we really are cruising through that section. Now over the bridge. Got to be careful not to carry too much speed or get too near close to the wall. The right hand side. And these are going ahead, you always fall out for that next right, and then it's this left hander where you've got to be careful. And the strange on the Superbike, it's not as bad as on the Super Sport bike, this little jump here. I think it's just because of the more weight you've got maybe, the old Superbike. Let's head towards Quarry Bends. That's me not seeing. Like, I know you have to turn right, I just didn't release. Like, turn right enough on the end of the corner. As I know this right and left off that out. This all will be straight. That's the problem as well with the lighting. We get caught out so easy because I've got bad eyes. So I get caught out easily with like the shadows and stuff sometimes. It's just soft acceleration. We've got a rider behind as well. So the gap's going to be close to 30 seconds in front. I was saying my target for the Superbike team was to keep the gap under a minute, which we did. And then we fell to pieces on the second lap, so I'm going to try and avoid that. So the gap 27.2 seconds. But again, look at all this shadow. Blistering through. So yeah, get by us, mate. Oh god, turn. I would hope the tyres are at the temperature now. Good thing through here as well, this is like our worst section, we've got someone to follow. You can see how much slower we are. I know they're not the quickest. It's a good reference. Normally that right-hander catches us out. That's our most probably prominent spot for crashing around it. I don't know why. It's not that tricky a right-hander, especially if you see it early. It always is. Let's go through Schoolhouse Corner. Towards Parliament Square. I think you can take this in second, but always put it down to first for some reason. This right-hander, which was so tricky in the first TT, man, it's not that bad. In this one, this is the tricky one, this left-hander, because that pavement kind of sticks out a bit. Let's go into the hairpin. .31 seconds the gap. Let's go through the waterworks into Tower Bends. Now this is where the shadow can catch you out through Tower Bends. So easy to get out of line through that. Because you can't see where you're going really. It's a bit like the tunnel at Monaco. If they didn't have the lights. Through the gooseneck. So I just had to cough there. That was like in my throat for half the lap there, so you might see that, just the odd pause for coughing. Because even though I got a Stream Deck, it's still kind of tough to reach out for the button sometimes. At virtual 150 miles per hour, 190. Head towards Guthrie Memorial. One of the trickiest corner in the whole TT. As you can grab back that virtual second place in our split. We're still against 71 other riders as well. Let's head towards Mountain Mile. I need to look over the top there because again you've got walls either side very tricky to see where you're going. So it's flat out now for a long time. This is something I couldn't understand in the first TT Isle of Man, when to be flat out in this section. It's really not all that different kind of layout, but it just felt different. It's after here where we start lifting. And towards the mountain box section. We've got a corner that kind of runs on forever as well. Like, it's still going. There it is. There's the end of it. And you've got these corners with massive bumps, especially this right-hander. So if you're going to set it up, you've got to set it up really early. A gap under 30 seconds. Like, this is one of our best sections now. As we get re-overtaken. We're going to be doing that in this section with this rider. Might help us actually, kind of slipstream each other like on an oval. Let's go towards the bungalow for the first time. Again, I don't know why their head's not pipping out here. See, they take a tighter line there. We can't take a tight line. Because there's bumps there which make us crash, even though it doesn't make them crash, which is weird. And Brandy, well. We can carry more speed into there. But then we have to get it down to third to help with engine braking. And then through Dukes. Oh, they're much more confident. We're not that confident yet. It's around 31 seconds back, so the gap's respectable on this opening lap. Now this is a section we really do know, so this could be trouble here, catching up to this rider. Especially through this left-hander. Anyone got a horn? Or a klaxon? I can just beep at them. Let's go through Keppel Gate. So easy to get that wrong. Go past Kate's Cottage. Definite lift on a superbike. And this bump, not that bad actually on a superbike. Again, I think maybe the way it helps with that. So they take an inside line, so we're going to go around the outside. Don't want to be too on the inside of that right-hander either because of all the bumps you find there as well. Look at that, 26 seconds to gap now. Now we got the lift because there's bumps here. It's really unstable, the bike. So rider behind's going to catch up. Oh no, the bumps. Oh my god, he went flying into the undergrowth. See, that won't be an issue on the second lap, those bumps, but it will on the first. Let's go into Hilberry. We're always much more confident into that. This has not been a bad first lap though, much better than our Superbike TT attempt. I know we're like 30 seconds back, but that's pretty respectable. Oh god, brake. Bloody hell, bike. We're end getting out there on the brakes. I'm not sure they automatically go cold. It's all dictated by tyres again, the handling, it feels like. Which it probably should be. It's a bit like MotoGP 20. But you get less feedback in this. MotoGP 20. I don't know why that's an automatic crash for them still. That is still not been sorted out. Good job, Kiditon. For the last couple of corners. Comfortably quicker than we did in the Superbike TT. No! Not overtake us. We're over 40 seconds quicker than our lap in the Superbike TT. I think that was 18:01. That was 17:18. So we're definitely set for a sub 16 minute lap this time. But again, we're battling with this rider. Just carry a bit more speed into Quarter Bridge. They might brake later, but we can control the apex. So the goal for this lap is just to pull away, get into that 60-minute time, have a good lap before the first pit stops. Ooh, the bike's a bit unstable on the brakes there. I think that's weight transfer though. I'm not sure as far forward as I should be. Or leaning up as much. Because I've got the controls of the old MotoGP controls. So I've got Y as tuck in. And then I've got the left stick to control the weight. Control leaning back in the corners. Which is something Maelstrom should still have. But for some reason they've taken away with the Unreal Engine now, MotoGP for some reason. That's 33 seconds back. Not a good start to the lap. Just a slight lift over the bump as well. No, not really an issue on the second lap. Like everything just seems to work on the second lap sort of stint. It's like much better. So like slight lift through the left. Got a slight lift over the edge of the hill as well. Used to tap the brakes, but if you just lift in a straight line, no deviation, you're alright. Sounds like we're pulling away from the rider behind as well. Hopefully. I slowed down way too much there, but again, we're always slow turning into the right, so the gap, 31 seconds. Let's try and get that under 30 by the end of the lap, is the goal. Man, we're definitely doing much better than the old Superbike TT. Had to dab the brakes here because I turned in way too late. Turned in perfectly for the second. Right, and probably could have carried a touch more speed there. Getting slight bump there. Slight lift. Again, just ducks his head out way too late for my liking. Because I used that as well, like, to help slow down, like, introduce some drag. And from what I understand, that's what you see, particularly like sidecars. If you want to learn about weight transfer on a bike, look at the old sidecars. Of course, you have that passenger who's kind of like ballast that moves all over the place for the corners. It's all clip the pavement. We're lucky there, though. We're lucky. Like very low speed. What I'm doing much better this race is not looking up at the bloody splits. That's something I always do way too much. Just keep it a fifth through here. Seems to work okay. This left hand we can carry a bit more speed. This one we can't. A bit off the line. And you've got that left for Glen Helen. That's why I was so annoyed when I crashed there in the Superbike TT, because you can see that section just flows beautifully. Right, these are, even though it's not technically designed, it's one of the best designed racetracks in the whole friggin' world, this TT course, because some of these sections just flow wonderfully. That's a stupid crash. I have no idea why that is a crash. Sometimes you get that after a crash though, like for some reason the bike just upsets itself. I feel you're viewing this okay. Go and see on OBS previews okay, it might just be internet which might be lagging slightly, so we're 45 seconds back now. So we're doing well until those couple crashes annoyingly. Let's get to 11th milestone. Bit wide. Trying to power nice and early though. Let's go through the left and right. That left hand was 5 for left hand as well, because that left hand is devious. Like, a superbike. Then we've got McGuinness's and Bargarrow. Okay, and barely any speed through it. Once again, the bike all over the place. And then the bumpy left-hander. I don't realise it from this view, but the bike is lifting everywhere. Oh, so 44 seconds back. Turn bike. So that was pretty nice through Westwood. Bit slow, but still, at least we're making it through in one piece. Bit wide. Heading into Kurt Michael. Slight lifts everywhere. Especially if you carry too much speed in some of these corners again, you can instantly crash. So just got to be fast and flowing. Again, that kind of aim for 80%. You shouldn't be really crashing. Got to get the bike straight over that little ridge. That's why we're more importantly trying to line it up. That's why we went a bit slow there. Some of these corners are deceiving the old superbike. Like easy flat on a super sport bike, but on the superbike you've got to dab the brakes, got to lift slightly, lifting most of them. Let's go past Alpine Cottage. Got 44 seconds. So we were 15 seconds behind this but we still got that last section which we're pretty good at. In like 7 or 8 minutes. Let's go over the bridge. Short shift like a hell so you don't get that revving up. Always surprised me how much speed we can carry over that little bump. The old superbike. You carry barely anything on the old super sport bike. Just like to have the brakes. There we go, turn the bike enough now. It's tricky through Corey Bends because you've got that left hander again immediately after, which is quite slow. But then it opens up through the right and left onto Sowerby Straight. So you enter another dimension. Go over the bridge, can't hit the curves on the inside because they're chunky. Ooh, slight lift, slight lift. Carry more speed through there. What's that second part? It's actually a third gear, not second. Got 45 seconds. Okay, too much speed through those S's. This section is tricky because you've got to be consistently fast. As you saw, you can't be kind of flat out. The old superbike. At least on the super sport bike you could split it up into being flat out in a section where you slow down a bit. And superbike's all about that flow. So we'll go barely any speed go through there, but we're through. Ooh, just survived the right hander. Midland Town. Ooh, a bit wide through Schoolhouse Corner as well. Should we take this in second? See what it's like. Oh, much more reasonable. Just getting bikes slightly lifting all over the place. As we head towards the hairpin. Not really using any of the rear brake at all on this bike. Used it a bit on the Super Sport bike. I only really use the rear brake as kind of an emergency brake. One way if I'm going wide at a corner and I need to brake a bit more, then I will use that rear brake. Well, I'm guessing to be quick you do need to integrate the rear brake quite a bit, like with MotoGP 20. Let's go through the waterworks. So yeah, maybe need to work on that next season. And as you can see, with it just using the normal brake, we're okay. It's through Gooseneck. One of the few corners which doesn't really bite your head off around here. Through Joey's can be much quicker, but just again making it through. Limiting those crashes. Because you know where we're quick, we don't need to push where we're not quick. Kind of reduce that time loss. Nicely through Guthrie's Memorial. Yeah, nicely through Mountain Mile as well. Here we go, now we can go flat out. That's why I like riding this view as well, instead of helmet. You can kind of see a bit of the views around, see some of the sights. Also in helmet as well, there's like lots of bug build up and stuff. Apparently that's getting patched, but yeah, another reason why I don't really use helmet cam. So I have this kind of GoPro mounted to the front of the helmet cam. Bit out of line through Mountain Box. They're nice and smooth, and the gap under 50 seconds now. So we've got 20 seconds to gain in this last third of the lap. And an excellent lap though for us. Was it on the Superbike TT? Already approaching, already over a minute back, I think. So be less than a minute back. Approaching the first pit stops, looking pretty nice. Oh, so this is going to be our quickest lap as well. And the old Superbikes around it. Should comfortably be in that 60-minute range. Let's get down to 47. So hopefully in the next stint, the next two laps, then we can start pushing and attacking that lead. About setting up properly, which we did not do in the old Superbike TT at all really. Always on the bold back foot. A little bit wide. I thought we'd be catching up to second place, but obviously not. They're quite way ahead. 41 seconds. There we go. Slight lift. So remember, from the first lap, can't go too wide. almost a 5th gear corner Hillberry, but always get it down to 4 just for acceleration out of it. And that first part's right, then the second part's a bit tighter with all the bumps. Ooh, did a bit of a stoppy there. Got the corner nicely done though. The signpost corner and Bedstead as well. Wrecked a bit early into the nook. Then onto Governor's Bridge. Over the bumps on the inside. All the way down to first. That's an awesome first stint. 16:40. Sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. I can barely speak English. I can't speak any other languages. Like, I know some French, German, Filipino and stuff like that, but only really words and a couple of phrases. So that's our fastest lap. So the distance 34 minutes. So the race will be like 1:42. So that's actually on target for what we want at the end of the race then. So right on target. Looking good. So you don't need to be all out quick, just consistent pace. Remember, we've got cold tyres now. Bit wide. Oh, there's a rider in front. Come back here. Very nice through there. 36 seconds the gap. It's coming down. Get out the way, Slowpoke. See, no, they don't have to lift over those bumps. Bit ridiculous. It's all a bit wide. See, now we're freaking stuck. Gap under 35 seconds now. Need to get that klaxon out again. actually costing us seconds being stuck behind this rider. Okay, and hopefully we can clear away from them now. For God's sake. Our first crash because of that rider just being stuck in the way. You can't do anything. That is so annoying. Costs us seconds per lap and then takes us out. So we've got the lift here. So I'm on the first lap. Gap is under 40 seconds. It would be under 30 if we didn't have this other rider interfering with us. Got to try and clear them. Otherwise, they could be a big headache, this split. Oh, that's a bit over the line. So I even saw them when I crashed. That's how much they're being a arsehole to us, it feels like. Just keep losing my composure when I see that rider. Now they've cost us 15 seconds there because of the second crash. So instead of being under 30 seconds back, it's now over 50 seconds ago. That's just on this lap. Okay, let's just concentrate getting back into that rhythm. Yeah, just under 50 seconds to gap. Kurt Michael. Oh, the bump almost taking us away there. We're barely flat out on the superbike through here. That's why. The bike just loses itself for no reason. We tried to go flat out there and the bike did not accept it. So that's what, 4 crashes this lap since that first one, which got taken out. Now that was looking so good until we caught up to that rider. Ooh, a bit wide. The annoying thing is, now we've got such a big gap to him, we'll probably catch them like this time round here on the second lap. And then we're going to go through all this rigmarole again. So gap 56 seconds in front. We've cost ourselves all... We've doubled the gap basically where it should have been. That's how much time we've cost ourselves. off that. Now he's got this other bump. There we go. Now we're gonna be fighting to make up all those 30 seconds that we've lost. Oh, that's sensible through Corey Benz. Take it in 5th. Okay. Yeah, there seems to be a better flow through that section if you take Corey Benz in 5th. Bit wide there over the bridge. We did take it in 2nd instead of 1st as well. So we lost a bit on engine braking, but I was hoping to carry a bit more speed through the corner then. I'm going to take this 3rd instead of 2nd, but again we go slightly wide. So the gap's still around 56 seconds. Oh my god, I'm off the line. They're lucky to stay upright there. Did not turn in too early, almost did. Get down the 3rd. Well, that tight left hand is much more open than the first one, which begins this section. Oh, I just got to keep it in 5th. I'm slightly dabbing the brakes as well going into some of these corners. Bit wide there. But we survived the section. Oh my god, turn bike. We're so lucky there's a bus stop there. Yeah, it's much better using 2nd into that. Careful with the bump. Very tight turn. Kind of switching back in yourself there. So gap up to a minute. For the first time. That's just a challenge to close that gap in the second half of this race. Close that minute gap. So on this lap, we probably still won't be pushing. Probably still be pushing around 70%. Next lap, we go up to the old 80. So that corner in 2nd. Yeah, not any real difference. Oh, a bit wide. Oh, lucky to get away with that. Easy 5th. Oh god, I can't see. Cloud overhead. I couldn't see where I was going. There's the variable conditions. There's suddenly cloud cover. I can't really see where I'm going. I'm blind. Let's go through Mountain Mile. So that's our 5th crash that. That's the most we've had of 5 crashes, but we've actually kept to our target, which is nice. We only had like 2, I think, on the 2nd lap, which is amazing. Yeah, now we've got to watch out for cloud cover then. There you go, the variable conditions coming into play. You know, it's much brighter in this section. Look at this. That's all a bit wide in Mountain Box. I think cloudy. On Guthrie's Memorial, okay. Gap minute 4. What was our target? Get under 30 seconds? We're close to achieving it, aren't we? Okay, I don't think I've seen my dash this whole lap, so I should probably notice the cloud cover a bit better. It's all a bit wide and first one at the bungalow. Up towards Hellwood's Rise and Hellwood's Height. Brady well. Brandywell, sorry, not Bradywell. Yeah, this is where Tom Brady's got a holiday home now. This is where he hangs out. Oh my god, got away with that. See, that should be an instant crash, clip in the back though. We can just jump onto the road, everything's fine. And then some of the crashes, I don't think crashes, are just instantly down. Like that. Not sure I agree with that crash, because on my screen I was close to it, but I didn't hit it. So, well, that's taking it as a hit. So that's our 6th crash, so this is officially our worst lap. All saints because of one bite, really. Setting off the old chain of events. But we need to clear that bike in the pit stops on the 2nd lap as well. Otherwise we'll be in trouble in the final split as well. But they're around... So we're 64 seconds back. They're around 30 seconds up the road. But then they're lapping around 1650, I believe. So if we get close to 1620 in the next lap, close the gap down. That's oh my god. Bike didn't stop. Oh god, turning in too early. Got to actually K speed for the left-hander. Keep forgetting that. You can K speed through it, it's just bumpy. So the gap's going to be like minute 10. So awful this 3rd lap. Like 40 seconds down on where we should be. Had our most crashes, had 7 of them. We're now in double figures for the race, I think. I think we've had as many crashes as that we had on the 1st and 2nd lap. It shows how poor we've been. We're into the 2nd half of the race, new half of the race. Gap, yep, minute 10. So this is the lap where we're going to close that gap ferociously. Or not. Or not, the bike will just crash on its own again. See, those crashes, I don't know what happened. Because we, again, weren't full throttle. Around 78% throttle. But for some reason, the rear end had a mind of its own on that occasion. It was like, I'm going down. So was a cracking start to that. But that can be our only crashes that we want to be around that 16-20 mark, so let's see if it is. Let's go for Union Mills. A bit wide for the right. 9 through the left, you can't carry more speed like you could in Super Sports because of that little bump, it just unsettles the bike too much. So you can't be like flat out. As you gap up to 76 minutes, 76 seconds now. Well, let's think of the overall goal though. Was it 102 minutes? Roman thought. We're still on target for that. 203 minutes in total. Well, that corner is flat actually on the Superbike. I need to start doing that. Oh, that's a bit more speed through there. Okay, that's lovely. Let's start doing that. Oh, front lifted. See, that's inconsistent as well. Like, the front should have lifted on the second lap, because I took that exactly the same. I'm not sure if that, again, is that just state of tyres which is causing that. Because, again, I can't feel anything different through the controller, which you may have noticed is the kind of the main way I like feel things or can tell things in like almost every game. Or through the wheel, if we're talking about like iRacing and stuff. God, I love how flat out this section is. Yeah, we've lost another second. Over the bridge, far away. So it's a decent first third of the lap. I know we've lost time, but we only had one crash, which was contentious, from my view. We're in a good rhythm now. Don't be making noises at me, bike. I said we're in a good rhythm. Do not start making noises at me. So we go through Lamfelt. A bit tight, but still okay, decent speed through there, I felt. We're going to conquer the Avodia Street. I don't know why I always say that with the accent. There's gap still around 75 seconds, okay. So towards the 11th milestone. We'll go short shift over the bumps. So it's all about the right. There you go, nicely done. To the first left. And then McGuinness's, which really does come at you, like sooner than you think, because you're like, oh, don't go to that left hand, and then all that suddenly appears out of nowhere. Got a Garrow way too wide. Trying to set it up like a super sport bike again. And see, I've still got mistaken identities sometimes on the bike. So we've gained a couple of seconds there. Let's go through westward. Bit worried about the rear there, so the bike suddenly shift a bit as you're about to accelerate. See, into Kurt Michael ride once again. Bike making noises again. Wide over the right. Okay, much less throttle this time. Like I'm making sure it's like half throttle through some of these corners now. I don't have the issue of the previous lap. It's like to have the brakes over the right because of the rise and the fall as well. Oh, if you nail that, it flows pretty nicely, that section. Let's head towards Alpine Cottage. Bike unstable over the bumps. Gap similar, 73 seconds. Towards the bridge. Good to know that the rider behind is not bothering us. Like, we're kind of in our own bubble here, thankfully. For that. So we shouldn't have trouble with that rider in front. I think we're far enough back, we shouldn't. Thankfully. Through Corey Bends. And they're playing with the throttle a bit. And flat out. Sulby Straight really does feel like you're going into another dimension going down there with all the shadows as well. Absolutely crazy section this is. Into the bridge, once again slightly wide, but I think that's our preferred line now. Just to avoid the bumps on the inside. Like sometimes you do have to take kind of different lines with all the bumps. You can kind of take that in third. Just don't think I'm getting the line quite right. Narrows up there at the last spot. Again, don't turn in early. It's like I so want to just accelerate, but you've got to be so patient through it. But that's another reason I don't like this section. It's like the restraint section. We've fed it's a whole circuit, but this in this particular, because it's quite high speed, you're like, oh, maybe I can get away with accelerating through there. Like, I'm sure the top guys can, but some of my level, unfortunately, I can't. That's better through Schoolhouse Corner. Used a bit of rear brake there, as you see at the initial time, because we were stopping before, so I think that's because we were just hitting the front brake, so I think that negotiated that stoppy there.
Let's kind of switch back through that corner. Gap up to 78 seconds. But we know we're weak through this section. Not too bothered about that. If we can get it to under a minute in the last section, then we'll be happy. So once again, the bike, I'm nervous on the front brake. But we're getting the feels of the bike we had in the Superbike TT, where we're really not comfortable with the bike. Particularly on the old brakes. But we're much more comfortable now. I think it's just because I wasn't used to the bike and the TT, so to be honest, the Superbike TT. But we're much more comfortable with the bike now, but still there's that odd moment with the old brakes. It's just Superbike brakes, just a bit different. Go through some oil. There we go. See, that was lovely over the kind of bumps there. We could get on the power really early. Mountain Mile. We dabbed the brakes there just because the bike can sometimes understeer if we lift. But I think you can get away with lifting through there if you just get the line right. We don't really do that, unfortunately. Round it. Get in there though, we'll get in there. Bit of wide there, going into mountain box. Ooh, seen it, got too wide to the edge of the road, hit the bumps. Got to be so careful of that. Sort of gap down to 72 seconds. We're closing it. I say it should be doable to get it under a minute, the gap. With how good we are in this last third of the lap. Oh, that was pretty nice for the left, just slightly wide. I wonder if I just keep it through fifth through here. That seemed to work well. Then messed up the actual chicane. Went a bit wide, got in the power a bit too early as well. Bit wide through Brandywell too. Just messing up, losing valuable seconds here. Oh my god, and then the bike didn't stop through Dukes, even though it did on the previous lap. I think we were entering the corner a bit slow though as well, weren't we? But so that's only our second crash this lap. Once again, second and fourth laps are coming clutch for us. Gap 77 seconds. Now it's going to be difficult to get it down to under 60. We can get close though, I believe. Yeah, it's so much better run though. Yeah, the Superbike TT. That's the main thing in this Subaru TT. We're riding much better. Which I'm happy with. Just wish we were closer to the front. I believe the Honda's like the best bike, isn't it? Plus we don't have this BMW fully developed either, so I see we're missing up on one more update. Bit too tight for that corner. And I went a bit wide on the old exit. Turned in a bit early as well, which wasn't good. But it's got the gap down to 73 seconds. Go over the bumps. Slight dab the brake because we entered a bit wide there. We're getting too close to the edge of the road. See all those bumps. Braking a bit early in Hillberry this lap so we can make it through. No, I was on that old previous lap. Oh my god, and then the bike just got stuck on the bumps there. Nothing we could do. Stop it. Bad bike. It's not my fault you like bumps so much sometimes, okay? And my bike's favourite track is my humps by Black Eyed Peas. So, disappointing end to that, where we should, keep it upright, and we've had 2 falls there. Still only 3 in total that lap. We're slipping down as well on our target. We've probably aimed for like a 1 minute 103, should I say? Yeah, that third lap really did cost us a lot of time. Cost us, I reckon, probably 30 seconds, which means we're on that 103 minute range rather than 102. And to win it, I think you need to be in 101, 100 minutes. So we're still off race winning pace anyway, I reckon, but damn, we could have been closer. But the last stint now, this is where it went really well on the old Superbike TT, where we got the top 10, I reckon. Just to get it nice and tidy here at the end. Much more in here, much more conscious on the throttle. The first part, so the rear end doesn't have a mind of its own. Ooh, hello. There we go, use a bit of rear brake towards the end of the brake in there, just help with the stopping. I think what I don't get sometimes as well with the bike, how early you have to stop. I think that's led to a couple crashes this race. Like the one into Hillberry. But sometimes I still forget that, still like in super sport mode. Let's go through Union Mills. A bit wide everywhere. Don't power nice and hard though. So it looks like everything's running well. I have no drop frames. Hopefully it's running well for you as well, watching. It's got 78.5 second gap in front. So let's get it down to under a minute at the end of this lap. That can be our target. I feel like you can go flat over some of these bumps. We just need to set up the suspension, which we haven't tried. As hello, that's flat out. That is definitely flat out, even on cold tyres. So you can accelerate almost up to that bump. Incredible. Lots of bumps. Close the gap a couple of seconds in the old first set. Ooh, a bit offline. See, that would have been a crash in the Superbike TT because we weren't reacting time, but we're getting there with the hand in the old Superbike. Easy flat in the first part. Lots of lifting in the second. So maybe you need to lift slightly on both parts. That double right. Gap gone down and again, couple seconds. So we're feeling it at the beginning of this lap. Not often our best laps the first laps of stints, it's often the second lap, but been pretty good so far. As I've just jinxed myself, haven't I? God damn it. Yep, just jinxed myself. Fuck's sake. Never say you're doing well. Give yourself too much confidence then. You can't have confidence like that round here. You can have some confidence, otherwise you'll never make a lap round here, but say you're doing well around it. Especially the incidents like that. And then the bike's pretty rubbish afterwards for like a minute or two after a crash. So that often leads to another crash. So that's often why we don't crash once, it's twice or 3 times. It seems like doing well at the moment. Bike's still a bit uncertain though. Let's gap up to 80 seconds. The bike's buckarooing everywhere. That's how you know the bike's not there yet. Oh, I turned too much on the left. See, you always got the treat turn for the right, not the left. Respected the left too much there, that turn. Bar go again, a bit wide on the old exit. Through the bumps. Oh, I love that left. It's like the most aggressive left-hander, so we got the gap. Done in 76 seconds. There you go, that's alright through Westwood. Still a bit wide, still could carry more speed through there if we got the line right. There you go, braking a bit early into Kurt Michael, seems to be working out. Still a bit too narrow over that right. Whoa. I lifted over that bump as well and it still took the bike away. Like it did on the third lap, I think it was. Once again, there's nothing you can really do. You can lift, but there's no runoff rounder, is there? Like you can't. There's no place to like save it like there is on a circuit. Oh, so that's why I won't do hardcore mode. Because my rider would probably not survive the first corner of the season if I did hardcore mode. At least until we've won the TTs and done everything really, won the Irish Championship. And we'll see how long we could last in hardcore mode to kind of end this series, but back up to 85 seconds. See, we gain and then we lose. Oh my god, bike over that freaking bump as well. See, the bike's horrible again. Like a minute after. Goal crashes. Carried way too much speed there. See, that's cost us a couple second or two. Because it affects you all the way down to the bump. Because you're flat out through that right. Now to Corey Benz. Oh, another bump in the middle of a corner, which we don't feel on any of the previous 4 laps. This is the issue of the bike being rubbish. You're feeling stuff you don't don't feel previously. Again, I'm not sure the bumps are always there, if it's just a tyre issue, but I guess the bumps are there if we're feeling them now, but yeah, the old tyre issue for us. Went very wide there. Ginger Hall. Oh, late apex. Careful of the bumps. Gap 85 seconds. That's the problem. We've made headway and now we've had, what, 3 crashes this lap? Or was it 2? I've lost count already. At least we're still in our bubble. That's the good thing. Turn. Oh, there's no rider behind us catching from the sounds of it. Even though we're slipping back from the leader again. And slipping back from second in our split though. So the leader didn't win from our split like the Superbike TT before I remember, right? It was someone else. Oh, turn! What the hell? Yeah, I think the leader was only like 3rd or 4th actually. So we're probably like on the outskirts of the top 10 again. I see someone slightly in the background. No. Oh, I'm all the way down the first. Yeah, there's definitely someone behind us now. Waterworks. Nice and smooth through Tower Bend. Yeah, the time in the first was 1 minute 5. 1:05 should I say. Oh my god. Bike's gone off a cliff. Have we got damage? Stopping at all, the bike at the moment. Again, just might be the tyres being rubbish after another crash. Oh my god, got away with that. See, like that should be a fall. That should be. Oh my god, front going again. At least it's flat out now for a little bit. Can enjoy the scenery at like 190 miles per hour. Mountain Box corner. Oh, that's a bit out of line. And so I had to back it up for the next corner to get back in line there. Oh my god. 92 seconds back, worst we've been. Oh my god, turn. We're lucky there. Nice tight line through the bungalow. So that's much better than was it previous to that? Let's go uphill this right. Oh my god. Yeah, bike's definitely not turning as well. So it did. Do we have like tyre wear? No, we just swapped the tyres, didn't we? Oh, come on, now to the lift now. Oh my god! Yeah, something's going on with the bike. It feels like. It's not feeling good, this lap now. Oh god, turn. Kate's Cottage. We're definitely not going to catch the leader, unfortunately. We probably won't catch second either. Oh my god, brakes feel terrible going into there. Felt like I was locking up the whole time, like you could feel the vibration through the controller. Gap is still 94 seconds though, somehow. Lift over those bumps. That's probably the best we've actually taken that left hand the whole race. Let's go through Hillberry. Okay, don't go as wide this time because of all the bumps. There you go. Still not very good through there. We're getting better through signpost after. Just one lap to go now. Almost. Bit disappointed we haven't pushed on after cracking first two laps. But a cracking... Well, first half of the race was alright. Third lap was not good. Fourth lap was alright. And this lap and third lap have not been good. Well, our target's still 102 minutes, and we got to do under 16:20 something to achieve it. Around 16:20, which I don't think I've never done. Never done, ever done, should I say? So I might be a bit quiet this lap, even quieter now, to try and push on a bit. Well, that's why I braked so early into that corner now. Had a bit of stoppy action. Oh my god. Now the front's rising. Well, this bike has seen better days. Definitely say that. Oh god, turned in too early. Got away with it. Got away with it. we go, under 90 seconds the gap. Wasn't confident enough, I had to slightly lift. Plus I turned in slightly late. It might not look like it, but I turned in like half a second too late there. So I didn't get the Oxen line either. Same through there again. Get all the way down the third. A couple of seconds gained. Almost under 120 for that first edge. That's not too bad then. We'll take this in third. Okay, go nicely through there. Brake slightly early, but as long as we carry the speed through the apex, I do not mind. Actually, might be better to kind of set up the speed through the apex and brake slightly early. Oh my god, bike did not brake. So we do have to brake early as well because of that. Well, that's when I braked on the 4th lap through there. Did not work at all. So yeah, I think the bike's been through a bit. And the tyres as well. Like, just when I want the bike to feel really good, it has not felt good on these last couple of laps. Felt good on laps 1 to 4, but 5 and 6, I don't know what it is. It's just not been the same. Well, hopefully at the end of this, if we get a top 10, still be happy with that. Which we should be on target for. Let's pass Sarah's cottage. She can breathe a sigh of relief. We haven't gone into the front garden at all. Tried to carry a bit too much speed over that. So we're up to, I believe, 25 crashes for the race off the top of my head now. We'll couple this lap. As the gap is almost 100 seconds to the leader. See, now we're getting the territory we did in the Superbike race, where the crashes are getting similar crash amount. But we felt good in the Superbike race in the last stint, but not in this race. So it could actually be close time-wise if we keep having issues. God, I actually had to brake through McGuinness's. Go through Bargarrow. Going nicely over the bumps. That's probably the best we've actually taken Bargarrow, like line-wise. Bit wide for the left. Going to power nice and early though. Let's go through Westwood. Oh, front lifted. Oh, that was actually a nice line though. That was actually like a circuit line. You take on those race circuits around the world. Once again, wide going into the Kurt Michael. Best hope for that right hander, which often pushes the bike wide though. For Well, in the second half of the race. I don't know why it's been pushing the bike wide the previous couple of laps though. If we've been taking that line, might just be slightly different this occasion. Just like to have the brake. Alpine Cottage. Gap coming down slightly. Oh, that bump. That bump in the middle of that corner is now... You can now definitely feel that. Big jump there. Let's head towards Croy Bends. Oh, turned in way too early. Got away with that. Got away with that. We should not be able to survive that if we ride that poorly through that. I'll take it though. I've read on the Steam discussions as well, when people do that, just go off the road, they want crashes. Yeah, I don't even feel the pavement. Because it would be more realistic, but then, you know what game you're playing? Like, it's all ahead of someone there. Is that the guy who was second? We'll take that if we're ahead of them, heading into this tricky section. Must be doing something right this race. We're able to catch up to them. There's a bump here. There it is. Oh, we're still gaining a bit. I think. Oh my god, the bumps. The bumps. Stop it. You've got to start slowing down. Probably the best we've taken that section. And the whole race. Oh, turn left. I'm always on the lookout for the right-handers here, because those are the ones which catch us out in this section. I mean, they do signal them out with bright colours on the outside, so I don't know why I mess up a lot through the right-handers, but there we go, nicely through there. Just half of that to go. Braking a bit early this time into Schoolhouse Corner. Again, using a bit of the rear brake and the initial brake in there into Parliament Square. Stop that stoppy action. Seems to be the only corner which has that problem as well. Might be at other corners, but again, we don't really notice it, to be honest, I don't think. Like, I'm surprised it's not into this corner, into Ramsey Old Hairpin. Old Ramsey Hairpin? Ramsey Hairpin. Let's go into Waterworks. Oh, front end. Bloody hell. Front just lifted there. Almost down again. You can see we're pushing it a bit now on this final lap. Bike's responding well as well. I didn't expect that. I thought it might feel bad like the 5th lap, but on this 6th lap it's feeling a bit better now, the bike. It's regained something, maybe it is just like the tyres and stuff. Let's head towards Joey's. Oh my god, that's way too conservative. We're pushing it, I said. Bit wide through Guthrie Moor, but we got it slowed down. I remember that's the corner I used to have the biggest issue with, I believe at least, initially when playing this game. I was always like, why am I keep crashing there? Oh, it's bumping, you're not actually slowing down for it. I seem to take it nicely now, most of the time at least. Bit wide there. Oh god, too tight. That's my fault. I didn't carry the speed in the first part, so I tried to accelerate through the second, but I didn't have the speed to make that line work. So this is our worst second lap sort of stint. So we've had 3 crashes this lap instead of just 2 we had on the previous second and 4th lap. I guess even lap, should I say. Against we're over 100 seconds back. Oh god, of the leader. So not even doing good time wise now as well. Oh, the front lifted that. Just got 4 or 5 minutes to go. Oh god, we have to live through that. Have to live through that right, majorly. We'll go through Brandywell, that's not bad. Oh, it's going to be close to... It's probably going to be 103 minutes. Just because of the crashes we've had and all that. Time-wise not being as quick as it needs to be, and crashes like that, which I have no control over. Yeah, 108 seconds back now. It's a shame how this senior TT is ending, because it was a pretty good first stint. First half of the race. We were under a minute back. Even though the third lap was not good, like the first 2 laps were. Just never regained that time since we met. Also that ride on the 3rd lap. Since then it's been downhill. Now, if we got past that rider then and they didn't take us out, like, might be a different race. But then we have made lots of mistakes as well still. We're up to 27 crashes, I think, for this race. We're still under the target 30 though, 5 laps, 5 crashes per lap, so I've improved majorly from the Superbike TT at least, which is the main thing. You bet on the old Superbikes around it. Fortunately, we won't achieve the 102 minutes though, unless we can complete this up in under a minute, which is going to be very difficult. Okay, don't go too wide. Oh, hello. That's weird then. What was it, lap 3 or 4 when we went to ride there and we crashed because of the bumps? Took a similar line, yet no bumps over there now. We are going to be a couple minutes quicker than we were in the Superbike TT, so I'll be interested to see where we finish then. And this final night's going to be around 16:45, I think. Let's see if someone's crashed just after the finish line. Oh my god. What's your best time? I'm not sure. We set our best time in this race, so I'll have to check out. Hey, 7th. Not bad. 1:43 back. So the Honda won. That was in our split, I think. Or was it Harrison? It might have been Harrison, actually, on the Kawasaki. So you got the Suter up there in 4th. Bruce round out the top 5. Lucas Gray. Connor Cummins. Joshua Stray. Jesse Caldwell. But that's not a bad senior DT debut. Finishing 7th. Didn't quite get in the 102 minute mark. What we wanted to. If we did, we could have even been on the podium. We would have been at least, yeah, top 4. In the end, actually, just missed out on the top 5 by 2.5 seconds. After 6 laps and 103 odd minutes. It's James He on 11th, Cam McDonald 12th, Hickman in 14th. You never see that nowadays. Kevin Graham in 17th, Sarah Lawrence. Michael Donnock in 20th. David Johnson down in 27th. Stefano, who rides the old BMW he did during the season, down in 27th. Mark Miller ran out of top 30. Kim Parker in 40th. Louise Penn, the Suter down in 47th. And then we've got Valentine. We've got Terry Wilmore in 50th. Carl up in 54th. Emilio Ferreira, should I say, in 60th. Hamish, though, 67th and Nos. I thought there were 72 riders. After all that, you just get 10 perk points as well. I love that. But you do get lots of money. 32 grand. A touch of reputation as well. So I've been enjoying you, Star Animus. I've been very impressed. We hope you go far. Good luck. Thank you. So, we could take part in the Supersport TT. I'm not sure I'm going to do it now. I'm not sure. So you can see we're over 2 minutes quicker in the Senior TT. So 105 to 103. So we just need to go a couple minutes quicker and then we can win the Superbike Senior TT next season. But I think I won't do the Supersport TT. So, I'm going to end the season. I want to congratulate you for your performance this season. Hope you can continue to work together next season. So we can renew with Speed Motor, but they don't have a Supersport bike, and we want to take part in the Junior TT next season because we've won the Classic TT already. There we go. So we could go a season without a contract, so we just use our own bikes. Not sure I want to do that. So we could choose the EBR, which give us BMW parts. I like how that works. Then we can be on the Kawasaki. Surely that's a mistake. Surely you mean EBR parts. Surely you don't mean BMW parts. Could have done. What the hell? We could definitely achieve all of those objectives. Well, finish top 3 in 12 races. There are 8 Irish Championship races when you take part in a few in between. You can definitely do that. It's about winning races on the Kawasaki. I did not like the hand on the Kawasaki previously. We could go back onto the BMW. So I like this. They say they give us the contract saying finish within 150% of win time in Junior TT. Yet they don't give us a Super Sport bike so we can take part in the Junior TT. That's not quite working out, Smith's Racing BMW, because I can't achieve objective 1. So, and another BMW. Another one with a Junior TT contract, even though they only give us Superbike contracts. Here we go. Here's the Honda, which gives us a Supersport and Superbike. Couple of Hondas. So finish with 150% of win time in Junior TT. Finish with 100% of win time in the TT race. Win the Tours Trophy race. So if we win the Junior TT, we achieve all 3 objectives. That could be a possibility, actually. Looks like we're going back to Valvoline Racing then. Does that take part in 15 races? So we wait until the end of the season for all the upgrades, and those are just money. It's not parts. So we go, welcome to us. We'll help you as much as possible for the next season. No. I believe even if you crash as well, you can actually end your career early if the crash is that bad. So no, definitely not. But you've got lots of money. So you can see what bikes are on offer. As you can see, we've got quite a few Super Sport bikes. So we could get the Yamaha now. And then for Super bikes, I believe we can get a few. Yeah, we could get the Honda, which I definitely want. And the BMW as well. I think those are the two to get. And then we've got all the classic TT bikes. But that is the end of our Senior TD debut. Thank you to anyone who's watched it. That, you know, it didn't quite go as planned, but still pretty happy with the end result. We got a couple minutes quicker on overall time. We got, you know, much faster for best lap. Actually, I'll try and look up that best lap for you. See what our best lap is. So we'll go to time attack. It wouldn't be sections, it'd be the whole lap, wouldn't it? And then just the leaderboards. So that's top 10. Oh, that's the TT race. How have they done it in like 60 odd minutes? So if I go to my rank, 165th. Oh, that's Super Sport. Oh, okay. So as you can see, we're like 6 minutes off on Super Sport. On Superbike, 123rd. So 103 minutes, 123rd. Let's look at the top 10 then. Someone's probably done it under 100 minutes. Oh, easy. 95 minutes. Freaking hell. And then Classic TT. So we look at top 10. We've got Suzuki's up there. That top one must be a glitch. So 67 minutes. And in my rank, 126, 73 minutes we did it in. And that's with lots of crashes as well. So we can definitely do much better than that. If I just want laps though, like a single lap, can I change that? Okay, so yeah, track. So this is for the classic bike. So 1755 means 179th in the world. And the top times are around 16 minutes. Jesus. And then we'll do Super Sport bike. So top 10, all Kawasaki. So was it mid 15 minutes? So we're a couple minutes slower. So we're a bit lower down, 255th in the world, 1725. And then for Superbike, again 255 in the world, inconsistent. 1643 is the time we've done, which we did in that last race. Best times are under 15 minutes. Bloody hell. So yeah, we're just under a couple minutes off the top, guys. I think we can close that next season. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the Senior TT. I have. Now I'm going to rest and probably go to sleep now. Actually, no, I've got to record the first part of Career for tomorrow morning for TT Old Man 2, so that should still go up at 9 AM BST tomorrow. And then at night at 9 PM BST, we'll have the next part of MotoGP 20 Career Mode. So, thanks out for watching. And thank you for those who were on the chat and who came out to watch this. And I will see you next time.